Damn, I don't think I've ever had a shorter intro song. Sorry, let me lower the gain a bit. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello. Very, very laid back stream Saturday at 6:23. I feel like Quinn. Just a random, like, middle of the hour stream. He's been consistent. It's always, what, 7:12 Central? Maybe I should start streaming 6:23 Eastern. Is that a vibe? Oh, we're debating about Riley's HOH. Here we go. To my time to shine. So if Riley had his HOH week 4, who do you think would have went home? Do you think his intended target was Mickey? I don't know. It was someone on that side of the house. Probably not Rachel. Probably like Mickey or Morgan or someone. Came in hot with the BB27 question already. Mickey or Ashley? Yeah, Ashley's probably in a ton of trouble there. Because Ashley's not connected at that point either. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Doing one quick little stream before our stream on Monday. I was informed that the name Hamster Tank as a name for my Shark Tank spinoff was problematic because it besmirches the great Hamster Watch's name, and I am taking their brand and exploiting it for my own ends. And if you cannot catch the tone in my voice, people are stupid. People are so dumb. Oh my god. It was funny. We got a text. Morgan's like, because I don't think Morgan is as, like, obviously locked into the Big Brother community in terms of, like, the history of the Big Brother community. I think she's always been a fan, but now she's, like, one of us, right? There's a shift. So Morgan texted me the picture of that, and I got so mad. I was like, because I don't know if I think Morgan was like, is this a thing? Like, it should be, whatever. And I crashed out a little bit. Like, people are so annoying. And I was like, America, can you believe this? And she looks, and she had that person blocked. And I was like, okay, so it's just one of those. It's just a crazy person. But, yeah, I was like, okay, there's no pleasing anyone in this world. I am very skeptical of the survivability of this podcast or of this stream. Survivability might seem like a weird word. That seems like a word reserved for the 100, right? Here's my concern. Currently, there are 57 responses. I'm going to comb through them before the stream, and let's say that response number gets down to about 40, 35. The panel being corywurtenberger, which I'm a yapper. Everyone knows that. But then you compare me to Morgan and Quinn, I'm like on the lower tier of yappage. I don't know how this stream is going to end in a reasonable time. It's a school night. We're starting at 7 my time. I don't think we're finishing before 10 if we're trying to get through all the forums. As, like, the moderator, I'm really going to have to cut people off. It's going to be crazy. This is not like, if we just replace Morgan with Lauren, quick hour, stream's done, not a problem. Replace Quinn with Rubina, we're good. I don't know who you could replace me with from BB25. I feel like everyone talked. I guess Mimi. Throw Mimi on, you get 30-minute podcast. Why do it on a school night? Why not on a weekend? It's weird, but Twitch viewership is a lot better on weekdays. I think a lot of people go to work and come back and put on a stream or whatever, as opposed to weekends where people are more likely to actually be out doing things. It feels a little counterintuitive. You'd think weekend would do better, but that's usually not the case. But I will submit the form into the chat if you guys want to do that while we're chilling. I added somewhere to put your username. If you already submitted without putting your username, it's probably fine. Just claim your answer when it comes up on stream. Otherwise, you could just submit and say, like, copy and paste, say this was my idea. Or if you don't want to type the whole thing out, you could just say it. Submission link is in chat, and it is going to be pinned in right now. Okay. Anywho, we have some stuff to talk about today. There's been some chatter online, especially in the Survivor community, about edits, I think, coming from Angelina, which I think is a very worthwhile conversation to have. And I would like to talk about it a bit in the context of Big Brother, because they're very different shows. I think they do suffer from the same problems in a lot of ways. So before that, we can talk about the Reddit, because what else are we going to do, right? I will say, I don't think there's much to talk about this time. So we are Sorry, I got Ashley's Twitter pulled up. Let's actually take it back a bit. PSA about tipping. Ashley's been tweeting about tipping. And generally, when anyone's tweeting about tipping, you probably shouldn't be tweeting about tipping. The price of your goods being inflated is not a reason not to tip, because the extra profit that is coming from you paying $40 for your burrito is not going to the driver, right? Like, essentially, we got this big company, and then we got their employee being the DoorDash driver or the Uber Eats driver, and then we have us, the consumer. The consumer is getting screwed because they're paying too much for their burrito. The delivery driver is getting screwed because they're still not getting paid anything, basically. They're getting paid fucking $3 of the $40. And then the company is benefiting a lot from, like, the delivery fee and the service fee and all these things. So it's like, I think a lot of people feel like, oh my god, I'm already paying this much. Why should I have to tip? This is bullshit. And I think that's a very fair feeling. That feeling does not comport with reality, or at the very least, it doesn't equate to, like, oh, I shouldn't tip the driver. Because the driver is getting more screwed than you. Right? That's all. I think it's a popular misconception that, oh, these greedy DoorDash drivers, all they're doing is driving a car, picking up food. All I'm saying is you're making the decision to not go there yourself to get the food. You know? So, like, clearly there's something not desirable about doing that job. I've been very consistent. I'm just like if you spit on my food and call me short, ugly idiot, I hate you, 20% tip. I don't have it in me to not do that. Like, I think I'm actually, like, too much of a 20%er to a fault. Like, if they say, Cory, you really inspired me. I named my child after you. He looks nothing like you, but I just want him to aspire to be as... Still 20%. I'm just locked into this number. It makes my life a lot easier. California Pizza Kitchen. That California Pizza Kitchen waitress did not deserve a 20% tip. And you know what she got? 20 damn percent. Yeah, shit. She was weirdly rude, somehow trying to create a rift in my relationship. Was taking America's side when there really wasn't sides to take. We weren't even arguing, but we started arguing after she started it. Pissed me off. There's a whole ass BB27 debate happening in the chat, by the way. If you're not finding this tipping conversation interesting, you could dive into that. Sounds like a good podcast story. We had to have told it on a podcast.
Talked about it on the podcast, I'm pretty sure.
We definitely told it.
Sometime last year, because it was in Nashville.
Just got here, so I don't know if it's been said, but Beth from RHAP had a great point. CBS is owned by the Ellisons now. All shows are going to be white male focused in the editing. Okay, I think there is a pattern of white men getting over-edited that is undeniable, and that is happening, and that will continue to happen for a lot of reasons. The Ellisons owning it has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Like, zero. They do not have any input. There is no oversight. It is not a talk from them to the producers, the story producers, or Jeff, or Allison Grodin. That's just not a thing at all. The only thing I think, like, changing ownership would have anything to do with is, like, diversity casting initiatives, but as long as the same casting people are in charge and the same showrunners, like, that won't change anyways. Because if you're Jeff Probst, forget about Jesse Tannenbaum, he can pick whoever the fuck he wants to be. If he wants to pick 20 straight white dudes from Texas, he's allowed to do that. But at the same token, he can cast an incredibly diverse cast. And, like, he doesn't have to say, well, I'm doing this because diversity is my mission and it's important. Because then maybe Trump would, you know, tweet, this is fucked up, cancel Survivor. You could just say, yeah, they killed it in the interviews. So, fortunately, about casting, oh, they cast way too many influencers and all of this. I do think it is one of the final bastions between old school, all white people casting with, like, one token person of color. White men will always be the main characters. I think you should definitely make the caveat of, like, that's bad. Like I do know what you're saying. I know the energy behind what you're saying. But in a vacuum, it does sound like you're a member of the Ku Klux Klan. like if you really just like take that message for what it is without context, and there's not that much context here, it does feel like you're a bit of a white supremacist. But I follow you and I hear what you're saying, or at the very least, I hear what I think you're saying. Jeff loves white men and their stories. He always has. He impersonated 3 white men. What more needs to be said? Which is honestly for the best. I wouldn't be very excited if he's like, you guys want to hear my Q impression? I'm like, Jeff, I don't know. Feels like we can maybe table that. Challenge 42 seems under 50% BIPOC. Do not put the challenge in the same boat as Survivor and Big Brother. These are not the same casting team. Like, we're talking Jesse Tannenbaum and this casting regime, which goes also to The Amazing Race. And even Big Brother, I think like their diversity initiatives are very hit or miss. Like, didn't Survivor 50 not really hit the quota? Or in order to hit the quota, you had to get like very loose with the terms, if I remember correctly. I remember doing this math at some point. But I mean, damn, the challenge, like, Leroy was the only black cast member for the first, like, 20 seasons. Or once he joined on, Rivals 1. So, let's get into the Reddit, though. Let's chat about it. Ghost Island / Blast from the Past season. Okay. Survivor had a season called Ghost Island. Cool theme. Where they brought back failed twists or iconic advantages. I think it'd be a good idea for BBUS. Something like for the first 5 or 6 weeks, a twist from a past season comes into play, and it's a different twist every week. For example, 1 week brings temptation twist. Okay, I get it. I hate this idea because it guarantees a twist for the first 6 weeks. I do think there would be something very interesting about every week having a different format for people to play around. The issue would be it's hard for like a meta to develop, and if you keep getting surprised by new twists being put in place, people are going to play very cautiously. That's just how this works usually. However, I do think it'd be interesting, like, what if week 2 is Battle of the Block, and then we go into week 3 and we have the Blockbuster, and then week 4 we have like a classic 3 nominees situation. There could be an interesting novelty to it, but in general, I just don't like the idea because I don't like twists. But it could be funny, right? Like, oh my god, what the fuck, Battle of the Blocks here for the final 14? It's like, okay. Bring back Gronk. Oh my god, they get Baby Gronk for the takeover. My dad loves Baby Gronk. I was talking to my dad, and I was like, I was making a joke, like, oh my god, I was watching a TikTok of the Rizzler, because I was, when he called me. And he's like, who's the Rizzler? And I was like, you don't know the Rizzler? I just started describing it. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, is he like Baby Gronk? I'm like, how do you know Baby Gronk? He's like, yeah, no. I'm like, no, Baby Gronk sucks. That guy's, that kid's annoying. My dad's like, yeah, I don't like him either. I'm like, how much knowledge does he have on this? I should ask him. Let's get him on the podcast. This idea is totally fine. I just think, obviously, we're anti-twist in general, so probably not. If Big Brother had a 25-year recognition, if Big Brother actually made BB27 like Survivor 50, which is a recognition of 25 years, who would be a good cast to fairly represent it? All right, classic who would be on Legends cast. It is so funny, though. Like, I think it would be so unintuitive for them to do a 25-year celebration for Big Brother during Big Brother 27. I understand the logistics that BB25 is not the 25th year, but if they're going to do an anniversary season, you do it on BB25. It's not like, okay, we're going to do Survivor 52 because technically it's the 25th year. That would be silly. But thank you, Anonymous, for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate you. And let me thank Kristen, too, for the 27 months. I hope you all are doing well. But again, Anonymous, Jesus. You've been on a tear. I wouldn't even say on a tear. On a consistent campaign of gifting subs. And I appreciate it. I really do. I feel like we're at a pretty healthy sub number, and if I stream consistently, I can keep doing this for a minute. So I appreciate you. Would not be possible. Charmed Delirium getting gifted subs. This is a cool name. It's giving, what's the Carly Rae Jepsen song? Psychedelic Switch. Charmed Deliriums is similar vibes to me. I know Anon is out here tipping. Exactly. Tip your local streamer, please. Do not forget. Okay. Here, who do you want? You want Eric Stein, Dr. Will, Dan, Russell from 11, Steve from 17, Tyler, me, Tucker, Cam Sullivan Brown, and Keanu. I mean, look, you've done an excellent job of ensuring that pre-gaming won't be a thing. Because I know Eric Stein. I assume Eric Stein knows Dan. Russell's out in the fucking wilderness. Steve, I've had dinner with. I know Steve. Tyler, I think probably knows some people, but like Tucker and Cam, I don't. Obviously, they know each other. They played together, but that is a pretty weird combo. And then Keanu. I don't think this cast makes sense, but you've done a good job preventing pre-gaming. Lisa, June, Rachel. I like how you clarified which Rachel. I wasn't thinking it was Rachel Swindler, to be honest, but I do appreciate the clarification. Helen, Vanessa, Taylor, America, Izzy, Angela, Morgan. A bit more conventional on the women's side. I don't know if you mean Lisa Donahue or Lisa the Glitter Goblin. What was her name? The glitter critter. The glitter critter. Again, I'm going to assume Donahue. I would just get rid of Lisa for Danielle Reyes. I'm sorry. I understand. Like, I think there's a lot of bullshit going around where it's like, oh, it'd be so iconic to have Danny Boatwright back or Lisa Donahue back or, like, these kinds of winners. And it's like, generally, like, I'd probably rather just have the person who's played a couple times who's more interesting. Like, to be honest. Like, I'd rather have Yule for a third time than Becky or Sundra. You know, it's just, I don't know. But that's just me. It would mostly be people from the last few seasons. Chelsea, Rubina, Jag, Bowie, Jane, Felicia, Alyssa, Derek, Tiffany, Claire, Cody, and Danielle would probably be on. Why would they cast Bowie again? I love Bowie, but, like, they're not going to cast her again. They're not going to cast Rubina again. Alyssa? I don't, like...
Lopez?
Either one.
I think Lopez would be good.
This is a weird collection of people in my head. I don't think this would happen. Rubina was on The Amazing Race. I think the Tucker Rubina part of it was a huge bonus for her. Not to mention, I think her and her sister are excellent casting for the race in a way that Rubina might not be for a second Big Brother season. I think her and her sister like have a very distinct look and vibe and energy, and the way they give confessionals, like they feel like a typical Amazing Race team, much more so than most people on that cast. If that makes sense. In the same way that Enzo and his brother both being Boston and, you know, whatever. I think they're Jersey, but you get the point. Men, you got Dr. Will, Drew. Shoutouts to Drew, still has a little blog going. That's not condescending. I like his blog, I've read it. It's very short, it's kind of gets to the point. Jeff, Zach, Paul, Victor, Kylan, Monty, Tucker, and Cam. I'm sorry, why everyone has Cam on this list. You guys think they would ask Cam back? Sullivan Brown? I don't see it.
No.
With
so many people from 26.
Exactly, they have a surplus of BB26. They're not fitting Cam on. Yeah, it's possible, Mountain Doofus. I don't think they bring Danielle and Victor back at the same time. They're married to each other. Must be a miscommunication here. I guess we're either talking about Danny and Dom or Victor and Nicole. Unless I miss some huge news. All right, well, I don't think we're going to do a Legends casting stream, but if we did. Is it me, or is Janelle's performance on BB14 underrated? I don't think it's underrated. It's, like, properly rated. She didn't have much of a chance, and she didn't do much. She kept her team around. None of her team was voted out by the time she re-entered the game, which is pretty good. So if it was going to be by, like, that format, she was doing well, but, like, let's be real. I think all the coaches, when they signed on, knew they were going to enter the game. I'd be curious to talk to Dan if it was like, oh, they knew they were going in, or if it was heavily implied. But putting Boogie on the season was pretty tough for her, certainly. Worst HOH reign for each season. Let's zoom down a little bit. Frenchie in week 1. It's hard for a week 1 HOH to be the worst of the season, but this one has a pretty good argument. Jasmine in week 2, getting Pooch out ended up backfiring hard. I disagree. We've talked about this. Michael's HOH was bad. Heisem in week 2, I disagree. I also disagree with my opinion from last stream, to be honest. I think Jared's week 5 HOH wasn't as bad as at least the bottom 2. I think I was wrong the more I thought about it. Only because his initial plan was to put up Cam in red and then vote out Cameron, which would have been a totally good move, probably the best move he could have made. And the fact that, Cam won the veto and then he played terribly, that's really where it went off the rails. But his initial plan was totally fine. Boogie knew they were going to play, was legitimately blindsided by it. He just wanted to coach. I think that might be like once you start doing pretty well in the game with your team, now you're frustrated that you have to enter the game. Mickey's week 4 HOH. You can make that argument for sure. I think Angela's week 1 HOH is worse than Quinn's first HOH, but I think Mackenzie's is worse than both of them. So BB26 really was. I want everyone to hate the season. It matters to me and my fulfillment that people dislike BB26. Like on my deathbed, I want my final words for someone to be like, season's a bit overrated. That's it. That's my only goal. That's why I was put on this earth. To preach the gospel that BB26 sucks. I'm getting to the point where I think it's worse of the new era. Why, hello. Uh-oh. Morgan has entered my hater era. This is not good. BB27, though, that's a pretty good season. BB26? Huh? Not good. BB26 will always have its shooters. Yeah, they're called casuals. The BB26 shooters are the people who pretended like they watched the feeds and were just like, woohoo, Tucker, woohoo! Tucker's cool. I like Tucker. Outside of the game, he's been actually, ridiculously chill. Inside the game, if you're a live feeder and like Tucker, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. That was the constant napping and quitting. It was a lot for me. Shoutouts to Quinn. He was really one of the only presences I could stand on the season. There was a lot of people who were fine. They were just not doing very much. If production had their hands tied and were forced to only choose one for All-Star, so production, from their perspective, are they picking Tucker or Keanu? They're picking Tucker. I think Tucker is a bigger deal than Keanu in terms of, the BB community, and people would care more, and, I think Tucker had a chokehold on the fan base more than Keanu. I would much prefer Keanu, though. Again, Keanu, say what you will about his flaws, but he would lock the fuck in and try to win. And he'd play his ass off, and he would, he's a Big Brother player, whereas Tucker is more of, a jester. Tucker was such a problem for them. I really think that doesn't factor in. We've talked about this before. America, where it's obviously working with Tucker's a nightmare, but they view that as okay, they're being judged on the ratings of the season and how people like the season. Them having to talk Tucker out of shit in the DR is okay, we can accept that. That doesn't affect their bottom line. That's just an annoyance. I think production would choose Keanu because of how much he wanted to win. They don't care. I'm learning all this lore of BB26. Morgan, if you want to call me one day, I'll vent for an hour. BB26 was an excellent, excellent season. I didn't realize people didn't like it. People like it, Morgan. People do. before BB27, people were pretending like it was one of the best seasons ever. It wasn't. It was just like coming off BB25, it was more dynamic. But on the feeds, it was dead. There was no one playing hard whatsoever. Chelsea was playing hard, but she didn't have to play that hard because no one else was. Quinn was playing hard, but he didn't have anyone to play with. Tucker was trying to quit the entire time. So, like, the feeds were dead. This is obviously not a quantitative method of judging seasons, but, like, the live feed updates for 25 and 27 dwarf 26 in terms of length. There's just more to talk about. There's more happening on the day-to-day, even when there was a boring week on 27 or a boring 2 months on 25. Like, there was just more shit happening. Quinn reading this chat. Well, the fortunate thing is Quinn can just say BB25 is worse, and, like, there's a good argument there. It's just not for me, you know? Quinn was gaming. Yeah, Quinn's not the problem. Quinn was almost the solution. It was just his insistence on working with players who didn't want to play. Past season, in current season, chatter in the threads. I have no idea what that means. Okay, time for me to vent about a post with 11 comments. So this is clearly me just kind of yelling into the void because this person's also talking into the void.
Oh my god.
Big Brother has the chance to do something pretty iconic to honor Survivor 50.
Duh.
Why are we honoring Survivor 50, first of all? Love Survivor. I'm a big Survivor fan. Why are we honoring Survivor 50? It's like, it would be like a humiliation kink if Grodner's like, you know what, let's really make this season memorable. Let's get tribal council involved. You have them competing for HOH instead of immunity, or immunity instead of HOH. I feel like that would fix the problem, players not actually playing the game, and the dilemma that the cookout created. I assume the dilemma that the cookout created, what they're talking about, is like people making alliances based on shared characteristics or like demographic qualities, which is like, I don't think that's that much of a problem. It certainly wasn't a problem on BB23. Like, that was a good thing. And then in future seasons, I don't think those things have been controlling whatsoever. 24, certainly. You could say it got messy. I'm sick of people coming in with agendas and trying to protect half the house or saying that they can't in good conscience put someone up. If they want to keep some semblance of traditional Big Brother, make it so they can protect themselves and maybe one or two other people. I can't express how much... If you make Survivor format, you just put it in Big Brother. So Big Brother length, Big Brother house, Big Brother competitions. It's just the mechanism changes. So every week there's a tribal council on Thursday instead of a vote off, and the HOH is just an immunity challenge. You would see the most toxic, bullying, horrifying, excluding behavior anyone has ever seen in society. The pillar of HOH is the only thing that keeps Big Brother from, like, devolving into apocalypse. The fact that Keanu, who's ostracized, can win HOH means everybody has to tolerate Keanu and be nice to Keanu's face and do all of these things. There's still going to be shit talking behind their back. There always is. But if it was just a majority vote can take somebody out, holy shit. Those people on the bottom... Like, when Paul's looking at, like, Mark, when it's Mark's turn to go, that would be diabolical. They wouldn't let people talk to Mark. He's not even in the game anymore. We're talking about the next vote. Oh, it'd be so bad. So bad. And the only reason why it works for Survivor is because they're able to, first of all, edit, and there's not that much time to lay around and talk. Imagine having 7 days to determine who we're voting out. Like... Jesus. I think Blockbuster is a good twist. I've kind of been turned on it. I think it's a good twist up until Final 11. That's where I would end it. If they want to push it to jury, I think it's totally fine. There's obvious problems with it. We've talked about them a million times. I just think the benefit of having a good live show outweighs the downside. Having, like, an actual event every Thursday to watch, I think is really important for a show to maintain relevancy. And BB25, for as much as we say the feeds were great, the feeds were great, the feeds were great, and they were great for a long time, even the first half of BB25 was dog shit TV. Because the live show was not an event. They never did HOH comps on them, first of all. And they edited the episodes poorly. So I do think, like, it's just one of those things where I disagree with how long they keep it in, and I think there's real problems with the twist, and, like, having physical blockbusters makes the twist, like, okay, maybe it's good, to it's terrible. But I think it's been a main reason why Big Brother has picked up notoriety and has generally been on the up for the past couple years. They never showed Queen Izzy. We're going to talk about that later, actually. Basically, this person just wants Survivor instead of Big Brother, which the good thing is there's 2 seasons of Survivor a year and only 1 of Big Brother, so you should be good. Watching 50, who do you think would excel on Big Brother? You never know, because I think Suri would be the number 1 choice that everyone would think would be amazing on Big Brother, and she was good. She was really good. But I think worse than people would have expected. But that's the case for every single Survivor player to have ever played Survivor. In Survivor, we see their flawless gameplay. Like, you're telling me you watch this past Survivor episode and people are like, oh my god, Charlie is so bad at Survivor. What happened to him? He's playing so emotionally. And it's like, well, it's a 1-episode sample of them trying to paint why Charlie's being eliminated. On Big Brother, it's like, okay, we get to see how this person operates day to day. So I don't care if you put Parvati on Big Brother, you put Amanda Kimmel, if you put Richard Hatch, if you put Tony Vlachos, every single Survivor player will look worse on Big Brother. I'm tired of all the male confessionals on 50. Sorry I said it. How the fuck are we watching Coach give nicknames and not Tiff, who single-handedly brought her team from last to first? I think Survivor 50... So, I don't know how long you've watched Survivor, Morgan, but this has always been a thing. Like, it's just... Especially Jeff has this, like, specific adoration for players like Boston Rob and Colby and, like, the Alpha Bros, you know? I didn't have too much problem with Season 50's edit thus far, primarily because Christian being the main narrator just makes sense. He's been to Tribal every episode, and, like, he's also the best confessionalist in Survivor history, or he's up there, so I didn't have a problem with that. I think Emily's getting a totally fair amount of screen time. I think Suri's getting a totally fair amount of screen time. The things that jumped out to me was giving Rizzo 35 confessionals for a plan that was very clearly spearheaded by Dee and Suri and Camilla, and Rizzo was their 4th. But I think part of that is Charlie kind of like forcing the narrative with Rizzo. So that story made more sense because the 2 of them were getting votes. But I think that was the one moment this season where I was like, that's crazy. And also, the Zach Brown we can talk about. Like, of course, Tiffany should get more screen time than Zach Brown. Yeah, no, try. Morgan, you're not going to find someone who disagrees with that. Let's actually just dive into the mainstream topic then while Morgan's here, because we're starting with BB27. I want to look through Big Brother edits, most specifically Diary Room Count, which is not a perfect representation of the edit, but I think it's pretty good, especially, honestly, more so for Big Brother than Survivor, because Big Brother is very confessional heavy. Survivor's a little bit, okay, they'll let us watch scenes. Big Brother's like, hi, Morgan. Then it's me in the DR. So I said hi to Morgan. It's like, okay, there's a lot more confessionals. The distinctions between Survivor and Big Brother are obvious. Survivor is editing with the end goal known. They know who the winner is. So they're trying to tell a story through the edit that is succinct and gives everyone their time, and everyone's got a little narrative and a plot. Big Brother, they're guessing as they go along. Competitions play an incredibly large factor in how many confessionals people have. If you're in the house, I think you get that feeling the most, where, like, it feels like Cameron for my season, and I'm sure, Morgan and Vince were in the same boat, where, like, you play in so many competitions that every, what would it be, Saturday night and Sunday, you're being called into the DR to give veto confessionals. And the episodes are built around these competitions. So, inherently, whoever plays more competitions, especially whoever wins those competitions, they're just going to have more confessionals regardless of how important they are in the season-long narrative or the game. So looking at 27's chart, I'll zoom in as much as I can. Basically, the important numbers is over here is the total amount of confessionals, and then next to that is the average. I don't know how the best way of doing this. I don't know. It's probably just best to put me here. Not the ads. Morgan's not a sub. It's an ultimate betrayal. I guess it's good that she doesn't have ad blocker because that'd be encouraging or incentivizing her own viewers to not to have ad blocker. But looking at this, we have Vince at 326 confessionals. I think it's pretty earned. I think Vince should be the player with the most confessionals this season because even though I think Morgan played harder than him, and I think Ashley and Morgan and Rachel played better than him, he was at the center of everything the entire season. He played in so many competitions. He was our first HOH, and he reached the final day. He was nominated a couple times. I just think Vince made a ton of sense to get the most confessionals. Should he have almost double that of Ashley? Probably not, right? Especially because I think Ashley was good in confessional. So was Vince. Morgan having 205. I think Morgan should have the second most confessionals. Keanu is a classic case of he's the underdog. He's the person that the show is pushing as AFP, so it makes sense he's going to get a crazy edit. The fact that he made Final 5 and he won so many competitions, like I think Keanu being up there is not that much of a problem. Rachel at 200, returning players are players. That's just how that's going to work. So, say what you will about that. Mickey getting 137 is actually really impressive. I'm surprised Mickey has that many. I don't remember her being that pronounced in the edit, but that's pretty significant. I guess she was the target for so long that it kind of makes sense. Is there anything else jarring about this list? Will only having 104 just feels like a missed opportunity. He was very passive. I understand why he wouldn't have that many, but he was just one of the better confessionalists here. Kat having 47 is pretty rough, but you know, I don't know exactly where Kat would factor in on these episodes. Essentially, Morgan, I think this season was actually relatively well edited. I think Ava was a little bit over-edited. Vince getting 320 confessionals is probably too much. But, you know, I think him being the most... I mean, him having an average of 9 confessionals an episode, the next closest being Keanu at 8, that's just a lot. Zach having 87 is surprising. Conventionally attractive, dude. Yeah, that's how it works. I don't have too many problems with this one, though. I think it's honestly fine. BB26. We gotta zoom out. Chelsea's at 260 at that's number 1. That makes sense to me. MJ at 214. That's totally good. Cam is a low number. Rubina's low. Chemo's pretty low. Angela's pretty high. T-Core having 87. Okay. I think that one feels the most wrong to me. In terms of like T-Core's presence in the house and how important she was to the strategy of the game. But also, you know T-Core is not giving anything in confessional. Like, she's just not animated in that way. So I kind of get it. Like, I thought Chemo was a much better confessionalist. So I don't know. I think, like, whenever they were talking about them as a duo or as a trio, they would just give it to Chemo or Rubina. And I think that's probably the right choice. Joseph having 51 and Tucker having 150 is hilarious. Joseph just, I mean, I'm shocked Joseph has so few confessionals considering he played in so many competitions. He played in every HOH because he never won HOH, and he played in every veto, basically. If you guys remember, it was like a running joke where they would just pick Brooklyn and Joseph to play in the veto. That's kind of crazy to me. I think, say what you will about Joseph, 51 confessionals feels crazy to me. But that's what happens when you have no HOH, no veto, and I don't know, like where did he really factor into the strategy of the season? There was a lot of potential for it to matter, but he just never got there. Quinn at 175 is pretty crazy for this early of a boot. And it was a shorter season, too, compared to 25. But it makes sense. I mean, Quinn was HOH a few times, and he was also also just one of the confessionalists who would give you something, right? That's true, Mountain Doofus. Being nominated helps your visibility too. Star of the show doesn't need DRs. It's a good point. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think Tucker having that many is crazy, but it makes sense. The only thing that jumps out to me is Joseph having 50. Just for being around that long, they should have more confessionals for Joseph. You know, like, you just can't get invested in someone's eviction if we don't know anything about them. It's like, Joseph's eviction, I think, was the best moment of BB 25 or 26, and I think it just lost some of the resonance because Joseph was really not a figure on the show. Let's look at 25. All right. So Jag is number 1 at 268, which makes sense. He was nominated a million times, won a ton of competitions, ends up being the winner. I think that all adds up. Matt being at 167 is, again, pretty crazy. Like, how does Matt have 167 confessionals when, like, he was theoretically the best strategist or the best player of the season? I bet Matt just wasn't good in the DR. From everything we saw on the show, he wasn't good in the DR. Like, I almost have as many confessionals as him, and I was out weeks before. And you could argue I was even less relevant to the strategy in the second half than him. I don't know if you can argue that. I think I was probably more relevant just because, like, I was in jeopardy more often, frankly. Bowie at 113. I don't know. I think that's enough. Felicia at 212. That really stacked up at the end. I feel like Felicia's edit really wasn't that good. Her HOH, she went crazy. And then it kind of picked up in the last few weeks. She's getting consistent confessionals in those episodes where there wasn't that many people left. Suri gets the Suri bump. Her having 36 confessionals in week 13 feels a bit excessive, I'll be honest. But what are you going to do? I'm so surprised that America has more confessionals than Blue. Just watching the season, it did not feel that way. It felt like Blue was getting so much screen time, and America wasn't. They go out the same day. That's just surprising to me. I don't know where America... Maybe it's just because I didn't watch America's final week a ton. But yeah, I mean, that's just surprising to me. It really did not feel that way watching it. I think my amount of confessionals is pretty reasonable for where I'm at. Mimi having less confessionals than Riley is one of my favorite Big Brother facts ever, though. Mimi having less than Riley is crazy. There was no shenanigans. Riley was at week 2. Mimi was there till day 60-something. 65, I think. Again, like, I don't care if Mimi's giving nothing. If she has no relevance to the game, which, like, she was certainly understated. But, you know, there's enough to get her to 60 confessionals. There has to be. But, I don't know. That's just crazy. 44? Same amount of confessionals as Red? What the fuck did Red have to say? Jag have 100 less than Vince with a 100-day season. It's not 100 less, right? I think Vince was he at like 320 or something? But this is crazy. I mean, a 36... Like what's the highest number here? An 18 confessional for... this is the invisible HOH. Yeah, I mean, Jag, look at his invisible HOH into next HOH. He has the most confessionals in 5 of 6 episodes. Like, that's just how that works. Yeah, Izzy had 52. How many times you can re-record? You've won the veto. Yeah, they should have just kept using the first take over and over again. BB24, Taylor is number 1, which makes sense. Turner having more than Monty. I think them being pretty similar makes sense. Michael getting a ton. This all looks pretty good to me. They gave a lot to Kyle, but Kyle was incredibly relevant. Indy got nothing. I think they did a good job this season. Am I crazy? This one feels pretty good to me. Turner won so many things though. How many twists can we submit? I think 2 is the maximum. 2 is the maximum, is what I'd say. If there's more than that, I'm just gonna start ignoring you. Pretty good though. Surprised Jasmine's so low. Where's Jasmine? 76. I mean, she has more than everyone below her, and more than Joseph above her. I don't know. I feel like you think she's a bigger character, but it doesn't sound crazy to me. Turner was also the comedy. Yeah. 23. What do we got? Xavier is number 1. Tiffany. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay. I think Hannah Chada has a case for one of the most under-edited people in Big Brother history. And I understand she wasn't doing a ton individually, and a lot of her storytelling could go to Tiffany, and like, I understand why she would have the smallest edit of the cookout. I really do. Her having 88 confessionals, where the next closest in the cookout is 146, is ridiculous. There's no way she was that boring in a confessional. 88? The hell is that? Tiffany has 148. I mean, clearly this is a shorter season. One less cast member, no battle backs, stuff like that. But I think Xavier having the most is probably a problem. Like, I would give Kylan more, honestly. I think Derek F., I don't know. You'd think Tiffany should have the most, but she probably did have the most by the time she was evicted, so I don't have too many problems with that. But it is just crazy to me how few Hannah has. Like, that's just messed up. No, I agree, Mountain Dew, because I understand why her edit was small. It just should have been bigger than it was. BB22. We'll only go down to, I think, BB20. I don't know how much more is interesting. Cody's number 1, as he should be. Enzo and Nicole tied at number 2. Okay, that feels pretty good. I would never guess this. How does Christmas have 150 confessionals and Memphis has 98? That's so weird to me. Like, every piece of my understanding of how Big Brother edits their show would give Memphis everything. But I do forget how much they liked Christmas and just making Christmas puns in the DR. There is a possibility that, like, 35 for confessionals are just talking about, like, Jingle Bells or Rudolph or something. But that's weird to me. 98 for Memphis. He was a huge part of that season. Davon's got a big number down here, which makes sense. It's Davon. Memphis is too chill in the DR for them. Maybe. They also had some controversies in Memphis that season. Maybe they were just not feeling it. BB21. Kat. She's got some confessionals. Annalise with 41. Those are Mimi numbers. That's actually, she got further than Mimi and got less confessionals. All right, well, that's the price of being in a showmance and being a woman, I guess, right? How much does Jack have? Jack's got, yeah, way more. 85. Mickey having 250 to Holly's 115 is pretty crazy. Mickey won more comps for sure, but Holly won a lot too. That, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. Mickey getting double. He almost has double everybody. Cliff has a lot. Nicole has a lot. Christy. I'm surprised Tommy had such an understated edit. 120 at 5th is pretty rough. Like, America and Blue were in the 120s. We had extra episodes, but over double is pretty crazy. Let's do one more. BB20. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Tyler at 300. 300. Here's the thing. Tyler's not that good of a confessionalist. I like him. I think he's charming. I think he's good. He's personable. But, like, he's not good enough to warrant this number over his castmates. And he had a very entertaining cast, too. Like, JC only being at 147. JC was good in confessional. Haley at 190 feels like a lot. I like Haley. Very charming, very likable, but really? I'm just curious to see what Paul's numbers are. Because Paul's got to be the most ridiculous ever, right? Paul's at 324. Shoutouts to Josh putting up a fight, I guess. But yeah. I mean, Paul had... This is Paul. Paul putting up will numbers. 324 is pretty gross. BB 18. Does Paul get up there again? 293. I think Paul probably has the most confessionals across a 2-season run ever, and it's not close. I don't know who else would even be in the mix. What's Vanessa as? Vanessa? Like, Vanessa being at 241 is crazy. Vanessa should get that 300 number if Tyler's getting it. The only other season that's... Oh, BB 16's got to be interesting. How much does Frankie get? 250? They actually do a pretty good job with this season. I mean, Frankie's got too much, but outside of that, it feels okay to me. The one I wanted to show was this. BB 10. I mean, Dan doubles everybody. Memphis is at 135. He literally doubles everybody else. That's wild to me. I think this is over editing. Like, say what you will, BB10 is the best season of the show. Dan is the best player to ever play, one of the best characters ever. This is Russell Hantz numbers. And thank God he won, because this would have been a diabolical season for him not to win. Like, look at his average. He averages 7.5 confessionals. The next highest is 4.5. It's just the Dan Giesling show. And he wasn't a comp beast. He was good. Underrated even, but... is there any other numbers that jump out to me? I mean, BB1. Oh, this is BB4? How fucking long was BB4 that everyone has 300 confessionals? Was the show just edited differently? Or was it longer? There's no way. Like, how does everyone have 360 confessionals? And then BB2, Will's got to be going crazy, right? Honestly, barely beats Nicole, which makes sense. Nicole was running the house for most of it. Her and Hardy had a lot, but, like, honestly, kind of makes sense. Mike Boogie getting to 100 confessionals going out where he goes out is also crazy. Maybe it was just more DR heavy back then. Maybe. Monica at 160. Yeah, that's pretty rough. I don't know. I think it's so hard to judge Big Brother editing specifically. For the sole reason, I can't tell if they're editing men more because they like men more, or if they're editing men more because it's a competition-dominated show, and historically men have done much better in competitions because competitions are built for men. The answer's both, right? The answer is just both. He had about 200. Hey, bub. About 200 confessionals. One second, I'm getting something set up. Were you surprised how you were edited in the episodes when you came home? I thought I got a good edit. I thought I got a fine edit. I think in general, you know, my edit was pretty fair. All right, we ready to lock in, guys? I would open this to chat. I don't think we'd get enough players. But I've been playing with Molly recently, and I need to improve because we've been playing for way too long, and we haven't gotten a win for shit. Has America ever played? I can't remember. I don't think America's ever played this. She's played Eviction Notice for sure. I wish I could play solos, though. You can play by yourself. You can. They might just pair you up with somebody, though. They might pair you up, but I'm hoping I get to play solo. I would stream me and Molly playing together, but I fear it would get too toxic. And then people would be annoyed, being like, oh, Cory's yelling at his 12-year-old sister, which, yeah, she deserves it. She's being slow. Only true stream watchers remember E-Dance. Shut up. Shut up. Okay. Lock in. I hate this game. I think it's so frustrating. The fact that their delay flight mechanic is RNG, which I guess that functionally is what it is in real life, too. Let's see if we have any familiar names in this game. If there's anyone I'd even want to partner with. I would be the students, of course. Pink. Anyone look familiar here? Perfect. I get to play in a vacuum finally. There we go. Anyways, what do y'all think about what Angelina said? I'm curious. I read the statement and I agree with it essentially fully. I think I have too much annoyance with Angelina right now to, like, I wish it was a different messenger. To be honest. Have they updated this game? Yeah, they've updated a ton. There's just a ton of different places you can go now. I support it overall. Yeah, I think it's just a good message, bad messenger kind of thing for me. It's not even like she's not a bad messenger because of course she's not like a misogynist, but I've been frustrated, I guess, with her for other reasons. Is it weird to watch people sleep on the live feeds? I think it is weird to sit there and just watch them sleep if there's no dialogue or talking or anything, or like, I think there is something weird about that, but it is what it is, right? You're allowed to do it. You're paying. It's entertainment. If you find it enjoyable, go for it. But I do think it's weird. I think what I'm curious about is, like, so far in the Survivor 50 edit, I haven't felt like it was egregiously tilted in favor of men, but I do think it's going to get there because it feels to me like we're heading towards a Christian and Devin situation versus like a Coach and Colby thing, and they're all just gonna eat up so many confessionals. And then yeah, there'll be like Suri and Rizzo and D and Tiffany gonna factor in somewhere. I just think that coalition is gonna get iced out of the edit. So I do think like the problem's going to get worse as time goes on. Coach Colby and Joe are gonna take over the edit. I think Joe is gonna get shafted in the edit, which I think is fine. You got Coach and Colby with him. If anyone's going to get a small edit, it should be Joe. The Colby foot thing, it feels... can I make it to pink? 3, 2, 1. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh my god. I uh I don't this feels like bullshit. I'm This game frustrates me. Yeah. Well, I mentioned Colby's foot. It feels like foreshadowing, but it doesn't feel like medevac to me. That feels like such an innocuous way to bring it up. Restart? No, I win this. I win this so easy. It explains why Colby sat. Yeah, maybe. He's such a big, strong guy. It kind of is weird that he's sitting. But I don't know. I don't think that warrants an explanation. Like, I still don't think. I think if they didn't have it, I wouldn't feel like it was missing. So I'm just going to lose here, right? Like, there's no fucking way I catch up to anyone. I'm like 30 seconds behind. Maybe he's pulling a Tyson. That was my impression. Not that he's pulling anything, but that just. Alright, someone's still here at least. 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Just 14. Alright, well, we're not going to be last. March Madness, I don't care for it too much. I'm an NBA guy. I just don't know enough about college basketball to get invested. I'm kind of invested in the draft, though. Is everyone still in the top picks? My instinct is I'm a Cam Boozer guy. I think the first pick should be Diabanza, AJ. But I think I like Cam Boozer. Lock in. No talking. Chat. Shut up. Did you read the ideas they're proposing to stop tanking? Very confusing. I don't think there's a solution to tanking. I really don't. I've thought about it so many times. I think the best thing they could do is just flatten the lottery odds for all non-play-in teams and then give some incentive to play-in teams. Whether that's like a some sort of exception or an extra second round pick or something. Like I just think flattening the odds is the best thing you can do. But even still, like people are not incentivized to win. They're just incentivized to not, be in the play-in. Do you think Christian should have kept a shot in the dark? No. At the very best, the shot in the dark is a 1 in 6 chance to survive, and you have to know that you're getting votes that tribal, like, and you don't need your vote. So like you shouldn't use it as anything other than currency. By giving it to Ozzy, you're not like giving him an idol. You're giving him a 1 in 6 shot. Like, I think it's fine. I do think Ozzy now should be able to play both shots in the dark at once, though. I understand he can't give up 2 votes, but I think if you're in possession of 2, you should be able to roll 2 dice. Do you know what season of Survivor you're watching after Pearl Islands? We're thinking All Stars. Because we're basically trying to prepare for Heroes Villains, which we're going to watch eventually. So I think it's probably going to be in some order, like All Stars, Token Teams, Heroes Villains. I'm debating China because it's obviously a great season, but you don't really need to see it because she already knows James and Amanda. And low-key, Courtney doesn't get that big of an edit. Like, that's kind of what we're deciding right now. But I think it's going to be probably Amazon, Token Teams, Heroes Villains. No Samoa. It's just, like, I totally understand why you should have to watch Samoa in prep for Heroes Villains, but, like, it's such a weird season. It's not that good. I'll ask America if she wants to watch Samoa. Maybe we'll let that be a chat decision. Yeah, America would like China. She would like the fact that it's just a weird location, too. Samoa is just so bad, though. Like, there's a whole ass tribe that I don't care about. And even, like Samoa, I think, is a season that might have the highest number of duds in Survivor history. Cook Islands, secretly, is full of duds. Nicaragua, full of duds. But I think Samoa is pretty rough. It's a one man show. I mean, there's some okay characters. I like Dave, but I said it before you even typed it. Ghost Island. It's a good answer too. I mean, that's just the Dom, Wendell, and Chris show, I guess. Danger Dave Ball is a top 5 character in Survivor history, though. China's always ranked top 5 in lists. I feel like it's a bit high, to be honest. I like China. I haven't seen it in a long time, so maybe I'll have a different opinion on it. Low key, I was kind of underwhelmed by Micronesia, but here's what I think. I think there is a crystal clear top 2 best Survivor seasons. The only thing you could argue is season 1, which is just a different conversation. I think the obvious 2 best Survivor seasons are Heroes, Villains, and Cagayan. I don't think anything gets close. Putting Micronesia, Pearl Islands, China, they're all fun seasons. I like them. It's not the same. Tony was a one-man show, but he really wasn't. He was the biggest character, but you had Spencer, who's a huge character. You have Wu, who I was so impressed with Wu, just as a character. It was so fun watching it again. You got in the pre-merge Garrett and Jatia. The Beauty Tribe is probably the worst, but even there you get like Bryce, who's good, and like Morgan, who's kind of fun. LJ, who I found to be a good presence. Jeremiah was annoying. Not even annoying, he was just kind of boring. Jeffro was boring, but Cass, of course. Hear Charlie talk about the pre-gaming. Yeah, people are just being dense. Charlie said, yeah, I wasn't aware that there was this pre-game alliance, and that kind of screwed me. And it's like, that's what he's saying. He's not saying they're evil for doing it. It's a returning player season. Everyone knows there's pre-gaming, and he's just saying this was a pre-game alliance that had an impact on my boot, which is what he was being asked about. You can't make me hate Charlie. I think being on Survivor is a lot easier than being on Big Brother because the edit is less crippling, right? Like the live feeds are so invasive and weird, and people get so attached and everything. But I would not like being on Survivor and having everyone describe how bad my gameplay was based on a 5-minute episode, you know? Gotta lock in. Gotta lock in. I'm locked in. Just unbelievable performance from me. Damn, did everyone survive that, though? Might have contributed to D picking Rizzo over him. Of course it did. I just disagree so much with anyone saying that, like, oh, Charlie's so bad at Survivor. Like, I just don't think Charlie played poorly. All of his, like, emotional whatever about Rizzo did not impact anything. Like, I think Charlie has a problem sometimes where he knows what's good for TV, and then the producers agree with him, and they make him say it over and over again. It could get annoying. It's more in the producers than him. But the him and Rizzo thing, like, I don't think that mattered at all. Oh, you idiot! Oh, I was not built for the race. They knew. They knew I wasn't built for it. This quick decision making freaks me out. I'm liking Rizzo a lot more this season than 49. I have so much trouble enjoying reality TV these days. I don't even know how to put it. Like, it's just a TV show, right? So it does make sense to say I like him more this season than this season. But he's the same person with a different edit, and I just think like he's always been the same, you know? Second, not bad. But I hear you. I mean, based on the edit, like Rupert on Pearl Islands versus All Stars, a different person. I get it. I just think I think Charlie's biggest mistake, as per the edit in my head, was Rizzo seemingly went to Charlie aggressively. It was like, Charlie, I want to work with you. Here's my information. And it didn't seem from our perspective like Charlie was pursuing that very seriously and making it seem to Rizzo that he cared about him. And for me, it's like if someone comes up to me and is like talking about how much they want to work with me and does something to prove it, they're good in my books. At least, if there's no better options. It felt like he was kind of set on being against Rizzo, even if it was for the danger of the unknown factor, which I think is just too rigid. Right? There's no reason to be like against Rizzo by default for that reason. I think Suri has a healthier mindset of everyone's a blank slate. Let me talk to them and see where they're at. I think for Charlie, he should have been less concerned about like getting to the merge in the perfect configuration and more focused on just getting to the merge because I think he had a lot of connections. I mean, of course, he would have Tiffany. He'd be good with Coach. And I think he would have been able to give himself a better shot getting to the merge with a couple more new era people. I think he should have targeted Devins. Yeah, Devins would have been better, right? But generally, just anyone. Like, made it more clear that he's not targeting anyone. He's just trying to keep himself safe. But who knows what actually happened, right? It's an edit. Have people liked the edit of the show so far? This is so unlucky. Are you kidding me? Everyone's about to get on the same gondola, except the first place team. This is such horseshit. No way they fully merge at 17. Okay, right now, what's people's predictions of what's happening? Is it a Mr. Beast purge? Or is it just we're going to do many tribal councils each episode? Because a Mr. Beast purge would break my heart. It would break my heart in the sense of like, our input truly means nothing. Like, we are just at the mercy of these producers not understanding what we like about the show. But knowing how Mr. Beast is and how they would try to incorporate him, I would be shocked if there's not some elimination associated with Mr. Beast. I think Survivor has a little bit more respect for its cast members than to, like, get people out in a purge. Jesus Christ, Cory. Split into two tribes of 8 and one person goes to exile. I mean, clearly they're not going to do a 17-person tribal. Like, I'm not even factoring that as a possibility. What's the order of it? Is it Mr. Beast, then Jimmy Fallon, or do we not know yet? M&M's or Snickers? M&M's. Not the biggest Snickers guy. I mean, like, I could get down for sure. I'm not a Snickers hater by any means, but I'm just not the biggest caramel person. The format's out there. I don't want to know it then. I feel like that's dipping into spoiler territory. No, I think targeting Charlie makes a ton of sense. I don't think that's dumb at all. I guess I just think, like, from Charlie's perspective, I don't think it was that bad. Fuck. This guy's in my fucking head. He's in my head. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm playing against fucking Wayne Gretzky in goal right now. Or it was Sasha Bobrovsky. Is that a goalie? It's a goalie, right? Sour Patch Kids or Sour Skittles? Sour Patch Kids. Sour Skittles, I don't know. It's too, they're too hard. There's too many of them. I would love a returning season to have an auction. Look, no one's complaining about an auction. Auctions are great. So I'm with you there. Who doesn't like an auction? This is what it feels like to be in the Matrix, guys, by the way. This is what Andrew Tate tells you to worry about. Just unbelievable. The amount of skill in my body. By how well I'm playing, you'd have no idea I have finals coming up. Like, are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Check the fucking tapes on that. Check the VOD. No way. I refuse to believe that hit me. Oh, we're making up placings. Wait. This is the best player I've ever seen. How is he going so fast? This is actually kind of hard. He fell. That's what we needed. Unbelievable. I mean, I mean, where was this on BB25? What's funny is they actually would design that exact competition for BB25. like, like to the measurement. Damn, that guy's fast as hell. How's everyone past me? I thought I did perfect this leg. That's crazy. Jag would have beat you. I'm sorry, Jag's not beating me in Roblox Amazing Race. Real Amazing Race, sure. Fist fight, it'd be close. Roblox Amazing Race, not close. How are that many that far ahead? I think I got... Well, first of all, the gondola kind of screwed me. The gondola gave people just such a head start over me. Have you in America decided if you do that reality TV run club thing in Boston, you can talk with Charlie about it face to face? We haven't done anything about it. I'll look into it after the stream and see who I have to contact. I think it's Bryson Wen, right? We should. America and I have been running recently. You say, no, we haven't been running? You're on 2 miles today. What are you talking about? Wait, I'm going to air out one of our arguments today, America. You know exactly which one, too. Do I have permission? In contracts, I've learned that silence means acceptance in contract. So, America asked me to pick up tortillas at Whole Foods because I had to go pick up some stuff for myself. She's like, "You get some tortillas?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So she's on the treadmill. Her phone is set up watching La Casa de los Famosos, and I'm at Whole Foods. So I know that's the positioning that she's in, right? And I FaceTime her at the store, not even because I need to ask her. I just want to show her the tortillas I'm going to get to make sure that they're satisfactory. Because, you know, like, there's a lot of different types, a big selection. She doesn't answer. I'm like, that's weird. I know where she is. She saw my call. Like, maybe her phone's on Do Not Disturb, but I don't think that's very plausible. Like, she obviously is seeing my call and not accepting it. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm like, okay, America. I'll text you a picture of the tortillas. She claimed she didn't get the text. Again, was the scene in La Casa de los Famosos that captivating to justify missing out on that text? It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. Then I get back, and I'm like, well, America, like, why didn't you answer the FaceTime call? She's like, well, you should have known which tortillas. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I wanted grilled chicken wraps, and you knew that, so, like, you know what kind of tortillas are good for that. I'm like, no, I don't. And I promise this is not weaponized ignorance, because there's nothing to weaponize. There's no benefit that I get, because I'm still doing the task. Or weaponized incompetence, right? No, she said, I'm making chicken wraps. I need tortillas. And I'm like, okay, like these ones? No response. And now I'm stressed out. So I'm like, you know what? In 2 minutes, I'm just going to get these. And I got them, and they were correct. I told you what I wanted exactly. You said you wanted big tortillas like the ones for chicken wraps. Now, let me ask some of the other people in chat, if your partner or like say, whoever, your roommate tells you to do that, would you feel confident that you could just go to the tortilla aisle and grab any sort of big tortilla? It's not a big deal. Pics were sent with no response. No response. That's right, Your Honor. Not even one response. You didn't need me?
Okay, no,
Oh boy.
It's like I'm reading my book. It's like the classic guy thing. If I'm like, Cory, can you go to the store and get me oranges? And there's like oranges and there's grapefruits, and you're gonna go there and you're gonna take a picture and send it back to me and be like, which ones do I get? And I'm like, I asked for
Ironically, this is an apples to oranges situation.
No, but
this is not an orange to grapefruit situation.
I texted you and I said, I am making buffalo chicken wraps. Can you get me wraps? Like the big tortilla wraps.
When you started saying wraps, that started freaking me out more. Because I'm like, is a wrap different from a tortilla? I know a verb for tortilla is to wrap them. Also, can we talk about how insane it is comparing two different kinds of tortillas to not knowing the difference between a grapefruit and an orange?
Well, no, it's like there's little tortillas and there's the big tortillas that you use for wraps. And you want to sit there and act like you don't know which one I wanted? Like, if you're at a restaurant and I put a buffalo chicken wrap in front of you, you're going to be like, yeah, this is a buffalo chicken wrap. Like, this is a big tortilla, you know? Like, you know what that looks like. So you should be able to shop for it. You don't need me, what did Morgan say? To, like, pat you down, give you a blanket, give you a bottle, and, like, tap your back and be like, yes, that's a tortilla wrap. Good job. Thank you.
So to be clear, you're making our relationship dynamic similar to that of Morgan and Vince.
No,
That's who we're aspiring to.
Stop. No, don't start. I'm talking about, like, I don't need to walk you through grocery shopping. You know how to do it.
It's not walk me through. You said, I want you to get this thing. I said, sure. Like this one. And you said,
I don't know
not worth the response.
I don't know what the issue is. He got it right. You got it right. It was right. You You got me the wraps that I wanted.
You can't always assume that your partner is going to be perfect like me.
Like I knew you
Maybe
would.
one day we'll break up and you'll have a much worse partner who's going to get you shitty tortillas, and you should practice with me by giving me good advice for the tortillas.
I did see your text, but I was...
Whoa! Her story changed. Earlier today, she said she didn't see it.
I did see it, but I was running. So
is lying good in relationships?
I never run, ever. So this is the one time that I am running on the treadmill. I don't know how to get off. You know how some people would just, like, grab onto the sides and, like, mount, like, get on the side of the treadmill while it's still running? I don't know how to do that, and I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying. So I just let it run, you know?
What do you think would happen if you texted me? How do I get off the treadmill?
What do you... I'm not... What? The reason I even texted you in the first place, I literally grabbed my phone and did the text-to-speech thing. That's how I was able to send the text. But then you started calling and, like, texting, and I was like, okay, now he's doing too much.
The response I needed was yeah. Or a thumbs up reaction.
No, you were...
Is this the hardest thing of all time? I did FaceTime because I thought it would be easier for you.
I saw that you texted. I didn't open the message.
Is that worse or better? Anyways, I forgive you.
You've done this before too, with other... I can't remember.
What, like run an errand?
I think it might have been mushrooms, where I'm like, can you get the mushroom? And
there's so many different kinds of mushrooms.
But you know which ones I get.
No, I don't. I don't pay attention to, like, oh, back at it again with the portobellos.
If you were to and you send me to the store all the time to get you Parmesan cheese, I know what Parmesan cheese you use.
Yeah, because it's all of them. Oh my god, it sent me back to the start. That's... You send me for tortellini. I know which tortellini, you know? No, you don't. You give me the wrong kind. You give me ravioli.
It happened
and then I say,
time.
And you know what I say? I say, thank you.
Because there wasn't any spinach tortellini, that's why. So I got you the ravioli, because, hello, it's the same thing. It's pasta with cheese. You're going to get me eliminated from the race, by the way. It's actually a catastrophe. Why do you keep... It's so hard. It's so hard. Babe, come on. What? Like, I'm not touching it. Yeah, you are. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway. BB25 competition. Shut up. Wait, so actually who's right though? Poll in chat. Well, not my best performance, but we survived. Honestly, the fact that it's 45% me, 55% America is a huge win for me. It could be like, is the Earth round? And if I say yes, you're going to be like, America says it's flat, though. And America's queen. So, this is a tremendous win. You lose for arguing over something stupid? I wasn't arguing. I was just trying to facilitate some discourse. I do think America's more prone to arguing than I am, but I care much more about being right. I don't even know if that's true. I cannot let something just sit is the problem. That's my dilemma. Tell them the witch thing? Do you want to tell them the witch thing? We were like laying down and she had like her hand here and she pulls a piece of my hair. I'm not sure if it was accidental or on purpose. The jury's still out on that one. And I was like reacting. I started joking around. I'm like, oh my god, wait, did I choose walk? So she grabs a piece of my hair and I'm like, ow.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you running like a DNA test? Is this for a spell you're preparing? And then she was like upset. I'm like, what? She's like, are you calling me a witch? I'm like, no. She's like, you think I'm creating a love potion? I'm like, what? You didn't say DNA. I said first, what are you running a test? Is this for a spell? I did not say the spell thing only. It's no, it's not what happened. I said, are you running a test? Is this for a spell? I can make that, right? Yeah. Witches are awesome, though. That's what I said. And then she's like, no, clearly what you're saying is that I'm a witch, and the only way you're going to stay with me is if I put a spell on you. I'm like, what is this fan fiction? Anyways, as far as I know, there was no spell. It was just a. All right, doing good so far. Done. Okay, lock in, Cory. It's annoying. Good, good. She just wanted a piece of your hair, heart. The operative question is why. Uh-oh.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Just because I get a little anxious about these things, I want people to know we don't actually argue about this.
No, of course not.
Like, they're not real arguments, like, at all. Just for the record.
And yeah, it gets heated. We raise our voices. Sure, that happens. But it's not a fight. It's more of like a passionate exchange.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Stop.
Of course we get it, they said. But one person probably doesn't get it.
And the witch thing, I was like, I think witches are, like, the coolest. But I'm like, but I know the way men say witch is not the same way that, like, I think of witches. So that was the issue there. Anyways.
I feel like this is the curse of being on Twitter too long, where you become like
I have to over-explain.
You become
I feel like I have to over-explain. You know
like,
what I mean?
The audience you think the most about is like the worst audience. Of like people who are gonna deliberately misinterpret and be annoying.
Cory is woke, not woke enough to know that a big tortilla is a wrap. So you're like, but there's. I'm like, anyway, we're not.
I believe it's tortilla.
Oh, okay. Wait, say La Casa de los Famosos again.
La Casa de los Famosos.
Yeah. Who's your favorite?
El Divo.
Yeah.
El Divo va a ganar el programa. Right? I think I'm out here, by the way, y'all. It's been fun. An El Divo heel turn. That's okay. It's a long season. There's time to have multiple heel turns and still be a good guy. Oh my god, why is the boat in Narnia? Can we agree that Kenny is the worst ever, though? There's something about, like... we don't have to start tier listing different ways of being bad. Like, racism is worse than this, which is better than this, which is worse than that. However, like... and I don't use this term lightly. The psychoticness of having to pause an important sentence because you're focusing on getting your car to go fast. Of like pretending to love someone when you actually hate them because of the color of their skin, and like tweeting casually to your friends about it is genuinely mind blowing. Like I've never been as like floored by someone's canceling, I guess. I don't know how you want to say it. Psychosis. No, psychosis is not it. Like I guess I'm using psychotic as a pejorative, which is a problem. Like I've never seen something as surreptitious and evil as Kenny on one of these reality TV scandals. Even Taylor Frankie Paul, you'd say it's like belligerence. She has no self-control, substance issues in conjunction with, whatever. But like what Kenny did with Janae was so beyond, like, that was evil. Yeah, no, I know it's being brought up in the show. By the way, look at it. It beat me by 2 minutes. We're in the finale, by the way. That's pretty good. You love to see it. Yeah, sociopath's a better word. Las Vegas? Okay, Vegas. I don't know much about this one, but I've done it once, I think. Hopefully the airport is generous to me. How is he on the show? Well, America was talking to me about like anti-blackness specifically is taken less seriously in some of these Latin American countries or Spanish-speaking countries. Obviously, you don't want to, just lump people all into one category, but I do think like it's more accepted in some of these Spanish-speaking programming than it would be in the U.S. All right, it's tied up. It's actually tied. I could win this shit. Now Josh is trying to get Kenny on Big Brother. Kenny will never be on Big Brother. I can assure you that. Josh does not have pull with production in the same way that he might have with challenge production, right? Like Big Brother production doesn't do handouts in quite that same way. It is surprising to me that Josh is as buddy-buddy with him, though. Lock in, let's win. Keep track of the shapes, okay? Star, circle, square, triangle, star, circle, square, triangle, star. I lost it. This is star. Hopefully that's star. If they don't ask for a star, we are in big trouble. Oh! Okay, let's just remember star and circle. Cut our losses after that. Oh, wait. No, what the fuck? That's still star. I just know star again. Okay. Square, triangle, square, triangle. Stars here. This is so fucking hard. Star, square, 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 star, square. Okay, 10-10, we stick, obviously. We won the first hand. Why can't I fucking see the cards? I don't know. It's 15. We draw. Fuck me. 16, he's at 10. Which stick? Hope to get lucky. I mean, it's just so fucking unlucky, these draws. 17, got a stick. Okay, taxi. I have no idea where anyone is. He drew fucking 20 like 3 times in a row. What do you want me to do? Bucks officially out of playoff contention. I fucking hate the Bucks fan base. They're so delusional. I'll talk about that in a second. All right, let's do it. Okay. Turn on the switch if it matches any of the following. Ends with an A, E, I. Okay, ends with an A, ends with an A. Ends with A-N. Doesn't do that. Does not end. I'm not checking shit. I'm just going to get it all right the first time. Has an R as the second letter or the last letter. Okay. Ends with land. None of them. Has a repeating letter. Fuck me, I missed it. Has an ABC anywhere in its name. Has a double letter book. Has two O's next to each other. No, has 8 or more letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How am I wrong with everything? How do I not understand the game? Ends with IA. None of them. Starts with A, E, I, O, or U. Has a letter that repeats 3 or more times. Does not end with A, E, I, or U. Ends with an. Has an R as the second letter. None of these. Or last letter. None of these. Ends with land. None of these. It has a repeating letter. It's all these but France, right? Okay. Damn, how am I playing against 7-year-olds who are just so much better than me? Like, I got 3 of them wrong? Am I dumb? These people are insane? They're cracked. I don't understand. Has an A, B, or C anywhere in its name. Oh, stupid idiot. Okay. There's one. It actually is crazy. I've just gotten these questions wrong. Well, there you go. That's just an utter catastrophe. It's actually crazy. Like, I'm just not good enough. France has an R as a second letter. Ah, oh, shit. And they're dancing. They're stunting on me, too. Oh, man. How old do you think they are? Probably like 14. At this point, at least, I feel like my age might be working against me. Like, if I was trying to get into esports, I'm too old already. Classic finale finish. Can't be perfect at everything, clearly. Clearly. But that'll do it. Not much happening this stream. We're just kind of chilling. Next stream will be on Monday with Morgod and Quinn, so feel free to get your shit in. The digital daily will be today. But as I said, the form, I'll post it one more time in chat. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern, the stream. Estimated time for the Monday stream, I'd say 2 hours. Anything more than that would be a little bit much, I think. You can always watch the VOD, don't worry. But yeah, should be good. So get your submissions in soon. I'll probably close the form Sunday night at midnight. So gives you guys about a day left to submit those. All right. Enjoy it. Digital dailies. I'll be more consistent. I promise. Shut up, Mountain Doofus.